What's up, everybody? Trad West Podcast here with some breaking news. It's Friday, October 25th, and Joe Rogan is going to be having Donald Trump on his podcast today. They're recording today, finally. So I don't know if it's going to get immediate released later today or if it's going to be like a wait till next week, Monday, Tuesday. I think Tuesday is usually the day he starts releasing podcasts during the week. And of course, as you can imagine, was this when it was first announced 3 days ago? Uh, the out of touch media, the left, the elites, the whatever you want to call them, they're just so out of touch with everyone. This is like the number one article that was showing. Trump cancels his events in favor of one of the worst people ever. And it's a picture of Joe Rogan. Like, how out of touch can you be with reality? Especially if you're on the left. Like, if you know anything, if you pay attention, if you actually listen to Joe talk, Joe Rogan is not some far right Republican dude. Is he support the Second Amendment? Yeah. Guns because he hunts. But that's about as close as it gets. He talks about all the time. He was raised by hippies. Parents were hippies. And he's pretty progressive and liberal leaning on most things. But of course, when COVID happened, he took a stance against certain medical interventions that was being pushed on everyone. And everyone turned on him and deemed him far right. And now they just think he's some far right extremist, mean Republican. I doubt he's ever voted Republican. I would imagine he is going to now because RFK Jr. is who he would prefer. And RFK Jr. is on aboard the Trump train now. So I would imagine he is, but he still doesn't like to be super political or one-sided. I'm hearing that Kamala turned down coming on his podcast because Joe wanted to be fair and have them both on, so it wasn't unfair, one-sided. And of course, Kamala turned it down. She could not handle multiple hours, even let alone 30 minutes to an hour, probably. But Rogan's podcast can go for 2 to 3 hours sometimes. Kamala could not handle that without a script, without questions and that given to her ahead of time. She just couldn't. If you ever listen to her talk, you know she couldn't. It's what baffles me. Like, I get people vote blue no matter who. They're going to stick to their party no matter what. I think it's stupid, but I get that. But the people that come out and literally like act like, oh my gosh, she's such a great speaker and she's so smart. You're either one of the dumbest freaking people, if you truly believe that, or you're just blowing smoke because that's your party and you want to make them look good. So, Rogan having Trump on today. They're probably there now. I would imagine they're recording now, but obviously they don't stream those live. But that's probably going to be the biggest Rogan podcast episode ever, if I had to guess. Unless we get duped. Because I was just thinking about this. What if Rogan announced this, releases the episode, and it's just his good buddy comedian, Shane Gillis, who does an awesome Trump as Trump for the whole podcast episode? That'd be a really good one. He could pull off one of the funniest things ever, or at least I think it'd be hilarious if he filmed one with Gillis as Trump ahead of time. He releases that one first, and then everyone's in an outrage thinking how it was all some big joke, and then he releases the actual one with Trump later. But No, that's all. That's just joking aside here. I think Rogan is really worried what a Kamala presidency would lead to. He's not the biggest Trump fan, um, because, like I said, he is kind of a progressive liberal. Just the new age Democrats and progressives are batshit crazy, and they deem anyone who doesn't go lockstep with them on everything as far right now. So during COVID, he became public enemy number one because heaven forbid a man who's like in his 50s works out extremely hard every single day, sauna, cold plunges, got COVID, recovered within 2 days and was back to working out, and all these idiots were still trying to pressure him to go get vaccinated. Why? Why? Even if the vaccine was some great thing, there is absolutely no reason if you already had it and you have natural immunity. That's what drives me crazy about this cult, the COVID cult. So that's how Joe became public enemy number one. Really looking forward to that episode. But like I said, we might have to wait until tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I don't think I'll do it over the weekend. If it doesn't get released immediately after filming today, it's gonna be like Tuesday next week that it comes out. But Kamala's not gonna do it. She couldn't handle that. Joe wouldn't even like personally attack and like try to grill her. He would just ask questions and she would not be able to answer. And she would get flustered. Say what you will about Trump, he's got stamina. He goes on for hours. You might think a lot of it's incoherent drivel at times at his rallies, but nonetheless, he's still going for hours, and he's like a stand-up comedian. I'm going to share a little clip here, and it kind of shows you like Trump's funny, man. Like, say what you will about him, Trump's funny. Like, he's like a comedian, man. Share my screen here, and we're gonna go to this is Trump at I don't know if it was the dinner or some dinner the other night where they kind of tell jokes, but
White dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people are voting for me. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris.
That right there. Now, did he write that himself? Probably not. But that right there, totally Trump, funny, accurate. And then let's listen to Kamala. This is her with Brett from Fox, Brett Bear, whatever. I don't watch Fox either, so I forget these people's names. But yeah, she listen to this response she gives. And when you hear shit like this, how can you possibly say, "Oh yeah, you go, girl"? And there are plenty of women out there, just feminists or dumb bitches, and dudes, but girls because they'll vote for her just because she's a woman.
Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade, people have become, but listen, over the last decade, it's clear to me, and certainly the Republicans sort of.
Bro, like what? What? He says, but you've been in office the last 3.5 years. And her response is, and Donald Trump has been running. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Because Trump's running, that's affecting the economy, grocery prices, inflation, because the man's running for president. And then she has the gall to say, you and I both know what I'm talking about. What? I'd love to know who knows what you're talking about. Nobody knows what you're talking about. And if they do, it's just because they're vote blue no matter who, the Kamala cult. And it's always stuff like that coming out of her mouth. I don't get how people would vote for her. I don't get it. Or I get how people would vote for her. Some people just, Trump derangement syndrome so bad, they hate him so much. But I don't get how people can look at her and be like, yes, I love her. She's smart. She knows what she's talking about. She could lead the country. If you're saying, well, I hate Trump, I vote Democrat, so that's why I'm voting. Okay. Should be a little more open-minded. Realize when your party is completely changed. But whatever. But the people that are like, yes, yes, queen, slay, you go, girl. You just don't want to vote for her because you're a misogynist or a racist. Those people are fucking idiots. They're in a cult. So I will be standing by. Oh, well, let's do a little share the screen here, just so you can see what the person who wrote the article saying Trump cancels all his events in favor of one of the worst people ever in reference to Joe Rogan. I mean, like clockwork, you can just imagine, like, yep, obviously, yeah, her right here. That's who wrote the article. Trump cancels event for worst person ever. And yeah, look. Typical fucking progressive, pink hair, hipster doofus. And it's people like that that are destroying this country with a smile on their face. With a smile on their face. They're fucking morons, man. So, like I said, Trump on Rogan, they're filming probably right now as we speak. And looking forward to it, man. So, make sure you guys like, follow on all platforms, Trad West Podcast. And I will be standing by for that episode along with a lot of you, I'm sure. So, later.